So, since we've done our vocab now, let's go ahead and let's apply those terms into actual problems. So make sure you get out your notes for section 3.1 and 3.2. Okay, let's go. So in exercises 1 through 4, they're asking us which lines or planes contain point B, right, point B, and appear to fit the description. So let's look at number 1. Line skew to line FG. This guy right here. So remember, skew means lines that don't intersect, but they're also not parallel. They're non-coplanar. So can we find anything, any line that will contain point B in it that is skewed with line FG? I think I may have found one. Line BC. Boom. So you notice that they're not going to intersect, but they're also two non-coplanar. So let's write that guy down. So number 2. They're asking us to find lines that are perpendicular with the same line, FG. Okay? So if we look, remember, perpendicular is going to be lines that do intersect, but they make 90-degree angles. So if we look, we want to still contain point B. If we look, we're going to try to find anything that intersects with FG. I think I may have found one. Line BG. Because if we look right here, they give you a hint. So that little bitty square. So that square lets you know, hey, that's 90 degrees. So when these two intersect, they give me a 90-degree angle. Okay, let's look at number 3. Lines that are parallel to FG. So remember, parallel, coplanar, and they don't intersect. Remember, we're trying to contain points B in it. Ooh, look at there, look at there, look at there. So if we look at AB, right, these are still on the same plane. So if you look, you can still, really? Where was I? Okay, line AB is parallel to FG. They're on the same plane and they don't intersect. Well, where's the plane? Well, let's look. So remember, a plane kind of looks like a parallelogram. So if I connect FA and BG together, do you kind of see that parallelogram? Because I do. Number 4. So we're looking for planes that are parallel to plane FGH. Right? So remember, you only need 3 points to make a plane. I'm trying to find another plane that's parallel to FGH. So I don't want them to intersect or collide. So if I want to contain point B in there, and maybe you should just consider the same points that are parallel with FG. So maybe AB. Okay. And maybe also BC. So it helps maybe to draw a line going through FG and see the line that's happening with GH. Okay. So another plane that is parallel to plane FGH is plane, don't forget that name, plane ABC. Let's look at number 5. They're asking us to name a pair of parallel lines. So remember in your vocab I mentioned parallel lines, okay? They're going to have arrows going in the same direction, okay? So let's look over here, right? So do you see any two lines that may have lines in them that help indicate they're parallel? So if we look at maybe this guy right here, you notice there's two arrows pointing up. Okay? If you look at the line next to him, he also has two arrows pointing up. That indicates that they're parallel. So we can say that line, okay, line V, U, and also line R, Q. Right? There is another pair, but I'm going to keep going. So try to find another pair. You can pause the video and try to find the other one. So now number 6 is asking us to find perpendicular pairs. Alright? So perpendicular, we're trying to find lines that intersect, boom, and form 90-degree angles. So let's look. The best way to try to find angles that are making 90 degrees is look for that little square. Did you find it? Right there. So I know that these two lines right here form a 90-degree angle. Okay, so those are perpendicular. So lines VU and line ST. So number 7. If you ever see this symbol right here, looks like two lines go in the same way. They will intersect. So what do you think it means? Parallel. So it's just asking, hey, is line WX parallel to line QR? Well, let's look. So let's try to find WX. WX right there. Okay, let's look at QR. Uh-oh. They intersect. So therefore, they are not parallel. So the answer would be, so are they parallel? No, they are not, because they intersect. So if you ever see this little fancy symbol right here, make it a little bigger. So that means it's perpendicular. Are the two lines perpendicular? Okay, so they're asking us, is ST perpendicular to NV? So NV right here, that's our point. This whole guy right here, NV. Oh, look at there. It's that little 90-degree angle. What? So therefore, hey, perpendicular, 90 degrees. So the answer would be yes. They are perpendicular because when they intersect, boom, they form 90-degree angles. All right, so now they want us to give an example of each angle pair. There's 4. So corresponding angles. So remember, it's going to be on the same side of the two lines and the transversal as well, okay? So I'm going to look at the upper left of my transversal and my two lines. So my upper left, okay? So angle 1 and angle 5 are corresponding because they're on the upper left side of that diagram. So let's look at the bottom right, okay? So bottom right, got angle 7. I'm going to stay on the left side. That's actually right side of my beam. Okay? Staying on the right, I'm looking at the bottom of the line. So angle 7 and angle 3 are also corresponding. Internal angles. Okay, so we're going to be looking at the inside between our two lines. Okay, but it's going to be on the opposite side of the transversal. All right, so let's look. So I'm going to tackle maybe an inside angle. Which one? Angle 4. So I'm looking for the alternate interior angle of that. Right? So I'm going to go on the opposite side of my transversal, which is going to be 6. So angle 4 and angle 6 are 1. Alternate exterior angles. Okay? Same thing here, but we're dealing with the outside. So let's look at an angle on the outside. Oh, which one, which one? Let's do angle A. So can we find an angle that's on the opposite side of our transversal? I think we can. What is it? Angle 2. Look at there. So angle 2 and angle 8 are alternate external angles. Okay, when we look at this, remember we're dealing with angles that are on the inside between these two lines. Okay, but we're staying on the same side as the transversal. So if we look, let's say on the left side, but on the inside. If we do that, then angles 5 and 4 are going to be our pair for this. Okay, if we look on the right side, then what two angles? You guessed it, angle 3, angle 6. All right, so now let's just tackle one of these guys. So they're asking us to identify the transversal, which is going to be a line, and classify each pair. So which one are we going to do? Let's do this one. So they're saying, hey, let's look at angle 2 and angle 6. Well, what do you notice about those two? They look like they're going to be on the opposite side of this line right here. I may have found my transversal. Okay, so my transversal is going to be line N. Okay, now I need to identify the pair. So know they're on the opposite side. So we're dealing with alternate, either internal or external. So let's try to figure that out. All right, so if this is my transversal line, and I know that this line and this line have to be my lines that are intersecting with it. Okay. So if it helps, I'm going to kind of redraw this. So I have my line N. Okay. I have this line going here. I got my 6 right there. Got my other line right here. And 2. Ooh. Do those look like they're on the outside or on the inside? They look like they're on the outside and on the opposite too of the transversal. So they're going to be alternate. Exterior.